მაგარ ეთერს გვაჩუქებს და ეს იქნება იტალიელი მზარეული, რომელიც ცხოვრობს საქართველოში და უზომოდ შეყვარებულია ჩვენს ქვეყანაზე. ენცოს შემოვიყვან ახლა ბარემ ერთი წუთით და ვიტყვით რომ გაიკეთებინა მას უბრალოდ იტალიური კერძი, ეს არის რიზოტო, ვისაც გაგისინჯებთ და იცით, ეს არის ესე ვთქვათ სავიზიტო ბარათი ერთ-ერთი ასევე იტალიის და hi.
Ciao.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Rolokhar.
I'm good too. How was How was your day today?
It was good. I was on a bike all day. I went to.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. Yeah. I saw the photo on your story.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. Can you see me?
Actually, not. Now it's better.
All right. I mean, I have this, and I got this light on. Okay.
Yeah, you need the more light, because your face is dark.
Okay. Probably I'll try to move somewhere else. Wait.
Yeah. So this is your kitchen, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So let's tell to our followers that what are you going to cook today? It's a risotto, right?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking to do something, something simple, something that actually goes on its
simple,
own.
But something interesting, as we agreed.
Well, remember I told you before, interesting is always subjective. It depends on what you like.
I remember.
Food. A nice borscht would be interesting. A nice borscht in Italian way.
No,
But,
okay, so
go on.
I can't hear you well.
Oh God. Wait,
now it's better.
Probably it's my phone. Can you hear me?
Probably it's your internet, I think.
It's bloody mad.
No, now it's better.
Yeah? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right, great.
Thank you. So during you will cook, I will ask some questions, okay?
All right. So let me explain to you first what I'm gonna do, okay? So
okay.
Risotto is one of the classic of the Italian cuisine. You will not believe that wherever the rice has been imported from Asia, Italy is one of the biggest producer of rice in Europe. And then we have different kind of rices then is more suitable for a proper risotto. Why? Because you need to have a grain that has a good quantity of starch. Because when the rice is cooked and it takes around 20 minutes, the starch then is actually inside of the grain is going to release into the rest of the stock and the sauce. And then because in the end of the day, starch is grease, is fat, makes a nice, a nice sauce, a nice emulsion. That what it's about. So it's finished up with the parmesan and butter and makes a really nice emulsion. Usually the grain that we use in Italy, the most popular, they call Carnaroli and Arborio. And there is one brand, and then it's called Acquerello rice. Then it goes to $12 a kilo. It's very, very expensive.
Oh, really? It's very expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive. And then that kind of rice is being refined and it's been brightened, so that's why it become white. With a system, it's called Helix, okay, which is like it's a very a slow process to keep, and it keeps a grain very good and bright. Usually the rice that you find in the market, the helix, this brightness process has been done in a very fast and industrial way, okay? And then the grain is not really good as much as this.
So for today, which rice you choose? Can you show me?
Yes.
And
so now
where did you buy it?
Now I'm going to use something is not available in Georgia. And you know also why, because of the expensive price you know, it will be not really good in the market. What I'm using today, I'm using the Cecco, okay, which is it's still an Italian rice, okay, even if the Cecco is a little bit more an industrial brand and commercial brand.
Okay.
And then the type of rice I'm going to use is the Carnaroli. It's called Carnaroli rice, which is one of the most classic type of grain used for risotto.
Okay.
Then,
so it was a classic risotto. It will be the classic risotto or something special?
Well, because I'm in Georgia, I was, okay, first of all, I found on the market beautiful asparagus. Okay, so those are asparagus, actually, local asparagus. Right, so those are local, fantastic, you know, asparagus for the market. They are not wild, because you see the size a little bit bigger, so probably those are farmed, but they're still very good. And it's a very good season now for asparagus. I will use, I made a stock with the saffron. You know, saffron, it's a spice. I mean, that the pistils, they come from the flower. Then they were very popular in Iran, so in old Persia. And it has been brought up, you know, in Italy by the, you know, by the Arabic during the conquest of Sicily. And then it became very popular in Milan because one of the artists that was making the glass of the Duomo in Milan was using a saffron to make the gold color. Mm-hmm. And then when the daughter of this master vetraio, that's what we say in Italian, they used to make the glasses. When the daughter got married, one of the students brought the saffron, you know, to the chef and say, hey, you know, this is the saffron, this is the color that we used to make gold. And the chef invented this risotto alla milanese, which is made with. So I want to do a saffron risotto with asparagus. So I like the combination of color. And I'm going to finish up with the mazzoni. So mazzoni, the Georgian yogurt. And then, and I like the acidity that comes out, you know, from this yogurt. And also it's very nice because everything is dairy, is actually make much more smooth, you know, when you eat. You know, like back in time when they used to do some ragu, they used to add the glass of milk just to make the ragu much more smooth in your mouth. So that's what I'm gonna do. A risotto, a saffron, asparagus, finish up with Parmesan butter, and then a mazzoni, the yogurt, the Georgian yogurt.
Great, great. Looking forward to see it. And before my live, some of my doctors and my followers were asking me that some of them can't see our live today because of the courses and webinars. And I just wanted to remind all of you guys that this live will be on my YouTube channel. So don't worry, you can see this. So let's start.
All right, let's start. First of all, I'm going to take the rice. Whatever you cook for someone, 80 grams, 70 to 80 grams usually is a portion for a rice. So I'm gonna take like a cup, and I'm going to just put some rice here. Okay. So that's that. Probably like the quantity of the rice is going to use for one person, okay? See. Depends, you know, of course, how hungry you are, but you go 60, 70, 80 grams. Onion. Now, you know, in Italy, we use shallots. Shallots has a little bit more, it has a little bit less acidity and is a little bit more sweet. So it's a little bit on between. But anyway, I cannot find it, and so I'm going to use this white onion. What we're going to do, we're going to chop the onion really fine. We're going to put the olive oil on the pan and sweat the onions for a little while, and then we added the rice. Very important procedure that in Italian we call brillatura. You make the rice bright. But what you do, you toss the rice, so you concentrate inside of the grain, you concentrate the starch. It's always good in the beginning, you toss the rice to concentrate the starch inside, and after the starch is going to release in the end of the cooking process.
Okay. So during your cooking, I will ask you the questions because, you know, when I was preparing for this live, I was reading about you that actually you are studied IT, right?
Yes, I did IT. Yes, I did IT.
Yeah, and actually it's a very popular job, you know, right now, actually in my country. I don't know what about yours, but anyhow. But yet you went to become like chef, right? And when did you realize that your love and passion was for the kitchen? And or was it a chance discovery?
You know, I wanted to be an artist. Okay, I was painting when I was a kid, so I said to my dad, I want to do an art school when I finish, you know, when I finish the middle school. And my dad said, "What are you gonna do in your life? An artist? How are you gonna survive?" You know,
As usual.
Yeah, my dad was, you know, was a physics and mathematics. You know, that what he was. That time it was a professor.
Okay.
So he didn't allow me to do that, and so I went through, you know, the sciences path, and I did IT in a school. Then I did IT in a university. Then I applied this IT in medical devices or whatever. But then in 1999, I was living and working in Rome, and then one of my cousins from Australia was coming
in
to
Rome. You mean the
yeah.
Rome?
Yeah, I'm not from Rome.
Look at this. Look at this.
I love Rome.
I bought it in Rome. I found it today at home, and it's especially for you and for your country.
Quanto sei bella Roma, quanto sera. Well, I'm from Città di Castello, a small town where Monica Bellucci was born in my town. And then it's an Umbria region. But then, you know, when I finish all the study, I start to work. I work for a company in Rome, so I was based in Rome. And then my cousin from Australia, she came to Perugia to study. And then, you know, I decided to swap. I said, okay, you come to Perugia, I'm coming to Australia. And I had this year traveling and studying English there. And I remember there was a place in Melbourne. Melbourne actually was my favorite place in Australia because Melbourne has actually been built by Greeks and Italians. So it's a little bit more European. Than you know, the Sydney and the other place in Australia. And then so I remember I was walking one summer in Legon Street. Legon Street is an Italian neighborhood, and then they were looking for chefs. And I thought, like, oh my God, you know what? If I could, you know, could be able to cook, I could actually find a job here and stay here or travel the world. And that's all.
And that's why you decided to become a chef, right? Okay, you told me that Monica Bellucci was born in your city, right? Don't tell me that you know her.
Well, I have a picture with my brother. No, Monica was in a school with my brother. She did the Liceo Classico. Now, she's 1964. My brother is 1966. But she repeats a couple of years because she was already modeling, you know, as a, you know, catwalk in Milan. So she was losing years in a school. But yeah, no,
okay.
They know each other. I remember her a couple of times. You know, there is a, you know, there are few years difference between me and her, with 7 years difference. So I still remember her a couple of times in the town, but then I didn't see her for years.
Oh, okay, nice to hear it. Okay, so finally, then I know that you were working in New York, in United Kingdom, in Dubai. And finally, you arrived in Georgia. So why Georgia? Why did you choose my country? Like,
I think I was drunk.
With Georgian wine?
No. Well, first time I came to Georgia was in 2015. Gia Piradashvili, the Nyonse Chateau-Mere, it's a very good friend of the father of one of my best friends. They know each other for 25 years. I was doing some consulting job in Azerbaijan for a Levi family. Okay. And then that was 2013. And he said to me, oh, you're going to come and visit us in Georgia? You're so close. And I said, oh, I would find time, but I didn't find time. So I went back to New York. And then in 2015, he decided to fly me in to do a masterclass. Okay. That was my first time when I came to Georgia. It was August 2015. And I stayed here for a week. And then, you know, that was my first time. It was kind of like
that time you fall in love with my country.
Well, I did. But then it was another actually occasion why I came back, because one of my very good friends, an Australian Lebanese, he was going to open a restaurant, and then we've been working together in Dubai, and then we were still keeping in touch. And that time I was in Kiev to do some consultancy because I was just left New York, just to take a break.
Okay. And
then he said, "Hey, you've been in Georgia before. Why don't you fly over? Because we're taking over a restaurant in Abashidze, in a city center." And then I came and I helped to develop La Bohème, which was a Mediterranean restaurant. And from there, I started to get more consultancy business. And then I never left. I decided to stay, and and here I am. It's actually today.
And it's like 5 years you are living in Tbilisi, right?
Well, today, 1st of May, is 3 years.
Only 3, okay.
Yeah,
Great.
so there's some Italy, but I've been here, I've been here before 2 years. So I know Georgia for 5 years, but I've been living for 3.
For 3, okay. Tell me, what was the surprise for you in Georgia?
What, sorry?
The surprise. What was surprise for you in Georgia, living in Georgia during this time?
Well,
don't tell me the cars, driving, and this kind of things, because this one we know.
No, because those things are actually very worse in Italy too. If you go to Naples, I mean, I'm like that. No, I would say, and I've been before in some ex-Soviet Union countries, and of course I was in Russia, I was in Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan. So actually the things I found differently is actually the history of the country, especially the medieval history, which is I'm really in love with, because also my town is very medieval, even if they lived in the Renaissance. So I liked a lot the culture, the culture and the history of the country. And then of course, it was very foodie compared with other countries that I never really been impressed by food. So actually, this country was very connected to mine, because even Italy is very foodie. The wine, it's big, as is big in Georgia. Of course, a little bit differently, because in Italy we do a European style. Even if there are few companies now they're using amphore, which amphore is like query. So then I thought it was a very interesting country. Also, where is located, geographically, under the Caucasian chain, the Caucasian mountains. This influence from Persia, from the Ottoman Empire, it's all the food, which is very interesting in that sense. Those probably are the things that they impressed me on the first time.
Great. So we are talking about the wine. So what is your favorite wine?
All right.
And also, I have another question about the pairing wine and food. But the first question was, what is the favorite one for you?
Yeah, so I'm drinking a little bit of wine. Sinandali. But see, this is a European style. Come on, just. So, wine. Okay, the first time I tried number one, I said, Vladia, what is this? I said, right. Because especially white has a lot of tannin. So for me, then I was used to European style wine, more fruity, more round, more smooth. When I tried the Quaver, I said, what the hell is this? I thought, the wine was rotten, something was wrong with it. But then, as everything, you need to taste and taste again and taste again. You get used to it. And then now, actually, I love it. I have a good collection of quavery wine here, especially Kikhui, Kisi, Ercazzitelli, especially Cazzitelli from Giacelli is one of my favorites. Cazzitelli made by Giacelli, one of the best I've ever tried. Now, I know mostly more the Cajetian wine more than a different region because I'm more connected to, I'm always saying I'm a Cajeli, I'm more connected to.
Yeah, I was reading your interview in Wine of the magazine. You told that the Cajeti is your lover part of my country. Okay, about the Cajeti later. So, once again about wine and food. What the trends are you noticing, like regarding wine and food pairings?
Okay, very difficult.
I think it's a very interesting topic, because like,
look,
not everyone knows about it.
I did a couple of degustation in 8000 vintage, and then the sommelier at the time was telling me like, oh, Enzo, how would you pair this? And I'm telling you, Quavery wine are very difficult to pair. I mean, because of the high.
And so your internet is too bad.
Was that?
Your internet is too bad.
Well, you're gonna tell to Magti.
Unfortunately, yeah.
You still bad?
Okay.
I don't know.
Now it's good, better. Okay.
So, I don't know. I know. I used to have a SIGNET, and I switched to Magti. They told me it was better, but probably it's not.
Yeah, but you need to use your mobile internet, not your SIGNET or home internet for lives. This is my advice for you.
I know that.
Okay.
Just a second. Let me put some of this wine.
Okay, so just explain us that you are putting the wine and sugar.
Okay, so what I did now, I sweat the, I'm going to show you a little bit better.
Okay.
So what I did, I sweat the onion on the pan, okay? And then after the onion was sweat, I add the rice. And I toss the rice, with the olive oil on the pan. Now, when it's toasted, what happened? Then you caramelize the proteins, okay? You caramelize the grains. So what you do, you deglace with wine. You add wine. Wine, during the evaporation process, it becomes sugar again. So the sugar binds together the proteins that have been caramelized, okay? And then with the sugar, with the wine. So it makes it, you can see, it makes a little bit like a saucy. I don't know how to explain that. It's like you're making a little bit of a puree.
Okay.
And this is the first process, and in Italian we say brillatura, the brillatura of the rice. Now I'm gonna add the stock, and I'm gonna cook through for like 15 minutes, and then I will add my asparagus that I just blanched it. So I blanch them just to make them a little bit more soft and keep very green. Why very green? Because asparagus got chlorophyll. So what you're gonna do when you blanch it? When you blanch means that you boil it for 30 seconds and you put in a cold water. This process, it keeps the chlorophyll. So it keeps the green on the vegetable. Also, the vegetable stays crunchy.
So let's continue. About the wine and food pairings. You were talking about the sommelier, right? That was something.
It's difficult to, when you have to pair, you do the pairing with the white Quavery because of the high percentage of tannin. Because of the process, you make the wine in Quavery, then you put everything together, the cha-cha inside of the Quavery, and you get the tannin from the skin of the fruit. And that's why it's really tannin. And when it's tannin, it's always difficult to pair with food, especially when you're thinking then the white wine and then I will use in Italy is almost for, fish, and then, in seafood. So I would rather be able to use the quavery wine, as I use a very light young red or rosé. If I make a dish that has a tomato sauce into it, you know, or even a chandali, for example, you know, it's fine. It's fine. The quavery actually, you know, is pairing very good with a chandali. If I go with something that is really light, I don't know, I make some Peruvian ceviche, you know, which is the seafood is still raw, you know, and you go with the quavery, that quavery kills the fish. You can't feel anymore, you know, because it's too strong. So that's how you would pair it. So maybe if I have a chanibuli made in a European style, or a tzinandali like this, it would be much easier to pair, you know, instead of using a quavery wine.
Okay. So, what about how do you test the quality of your ingredients? Oh, yeah.
I'm adding now the stock, okay? So now it's the cooking process. You see it's yellow because the saffron.
Okay. So did you hear my question?
No.
Yes.
You see it's yellow from the saffron. Please repeat your question, please.
Okay. So how do you test the quality of your ingredients?
Well,
this is a difficult question, or why you stopped?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I was thinking, you know, there are not many ingredients that you can really find in Georgia. I'll give you an example. If you look at the biodiversity that we have in Italy, we have around 7,000 edible vegetables, 7,000 edible vegetables. That is a huge number. Now, probably some of them will grow here in Georgia, but because they're not really on the traditional of the ingredients that people they used to use, they're not very popular. I'll give you an example. Maybe, you know, I can find someone that does radicchio, but radicchio, because it's not really well known here, nobody's going to buy it. So there is no market for it. So you can't find it unless you import it. I was using radicchio here. Imported is 48 lari per kilo. A steak costs you 50 lari per kilo. You know, so it's not really manageable when you talk about some of the ingredients that come from abroad. But the ingredients, even the few ingredients that you have in Georgia, they're very good. Especially the vegetables, because people they still cultivate, you know, vegetables in organic way, you know, respecting what is like more, you know, really, you know, without any additive, you know. So that they're really good. They're really good. I mean, the tomato from Cajeti, they're excellent. Another thing that's very, you know, linked to is the watermelon, which is in south of Italy. You can find very good
watermelon. I love
watermelon in Cajeti, man. That's fantastic. In a season, July, August, that dynamite. Really, they're really good.
Okay, great. Let's talk about your famous dish. Not dish, actually. I think it was a dessert, right? The hinkali with chocolate, right? You made it.
Well, that's
how. Why hinkali with chocolate? Come on.
People they still hate me for that.
No. I don't hate you, but anyhow.
Well, very simple. Look, I didn't invent anything. If you go back on the Renaissance, so, you know, 15th century, 16th century, in Italy, it was very popular to make a pasta with chocolate. And we used to have a ravioli, chocolate ravioli. So I was coming back from Georgia to New York, and the one newspaper, one of these media said, "Oh, Chef Enzo, long time we don't talk. You know, why don't you do something Georgian in Italian way?" And you know, it was already a couple of years that I was in Georgia. I didn't remember much. I remember chakapuli because I love lamb, and so I remember this lamb chakapuli. Okay. And I remember, of course, this dumpling, you know, this pasta filled with the meat. So I thought, like, well, you know, they are so keen on this pasta with meat that probably I can, come out with a dessert version of this very famous, Georgian khinkali. And then, what I did, I added some cocoa powder and chocolate into the dough. And then I thought that...
So what was the inside? What was inside?
There is nadugi. Nadugi because nadugi is very similar to ricotta cheese in Italy. It's actually the same kind of way you make a ricotta, you make the nadugi. But nadugi is a little bit less creamy. So I add a little bit of cream and I made a kind of ricotta. And then I put some candied orange, pistachio nuts. Then I did, of course, sugar and then mint. And so in the end of the day, the filling is very similar to the Sicilian cannoli, but made with the Georgian ingredients. So I did some creme anglaise to serve because, of course, your khinkali have the juice of the meat. My khinkali didn't have any juice, so I had to add some liquid into it. So I decided to make some cinnamon creme anglaise, and I serve with the cinnamon creme anglaise.
Yeah, right. I can imagine how I'm eating chocolate khinkali with coffee or tea.
I know.
I can imagine.
You
got it.
That's probably how the people got shocked about it.
Okay, so what was the comments? The feedbacks about the khinkali with chocolate. It was like bad comments or it was
very interesting feedback because probably some of the Georgians living in New York, they went through Facebook and they saw this article about this Italian chef living and working in a Upper East Side in New York who was making chocolate khinkali. So people started to book a table. So my restaurant manager one day comes, said to me, Chef Enzo, what's going on? There are people asking for a certain...
Everyone is ordering the chocolate khinkali, like khinkali with chocolate, right?
Honestly. So at the end, I remember 7 girls. In the end, they were pushing. They found me on Facebook. They were texting me, we want to try your khinkali. So I said, all right, I will do all it for you. So I did a table of 7. And these girls, they came in one night and I did the chocolate khinkali for them. But in the other hand, even if those people, they were very amazed about my invention, some other people from Georgia, they were texting me, really pissed off. And it's like, what are you doing? This is our traditional food. Are you there? You're making chocolate khinkali. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful.
I'm wondering one day I will taste your khinkali with chocolate one day.
Of course.
Maybe you will do it and you will make it.
Of course. I'm telling you, who tried the khinkali here, they loved it. When they tried the chocolate khinkali, they loved it. Also, let's be frank. There are people that copy my khinkali as well. There were a pastry place in Abashidze, they used to do it. There is other people, they made the chocolate version. They used to call chocolate khinkali in English. So actually people, in one side, there were people, a little bit angry with me, but there were a lot of people, they took advantage of it and then they used it. So,
don't you think to add this dessert in your menu?
Yes, I do. But no in Tbilisi, only in Kakheti. In Chateau Mere, I'm going to open Enzo's Ezo, and then inside of Enzo's Ezo, I'm going to have my chocolate khinkali. Yeah, of course.
Okay, guys, so if someone wants to taste the Enzo's chocolate khinkali, you have to go to the Kakheti, to the Enzo's Ezo, right?
Yes, Enzo Ezo.
So, Enzo, tell me, what is your signature dish?
Every time people ask me this question, I say, I don't like to be identified with one dish. My quote is, cooking has never been my ambition, just the way I express myself. So it depends how I feel. I express myself on that day. So I don't like to say, I will tell you then, I love seafood. So I love to cook seafood, and I love to cook what in English they call game. So the wild animal, like from duck to hare, rabbits, some of these,
duck, love it. Okay.
This food. So the gamey food and the seafood are some of my favorites. But I don't have to pick one.
Yeah. Someone is writing us that Georgian food like Have you ever tried it before, the Georgian food? Maybe someone will reply us. Okay, so let's continue. If you could cook for anyone, who would it be?
Well, you know, in my life, I used to be a private chef as well. I cooked for Calvin Klein. I cooked for Ronald Perlman. I cooked for the daughter of the president of Kazakhstan. You know, I had a few different. I don't know. Probably if I have a chance now, then I would cook for my mom because she's locked down.
I was waiting for this answer. You know.
Well, you know, look, I left my mom when I was 18. So, you know, we all left. We 3 brothers, everybody left. We were studying 3 different cities. I was in Bologna, Sergio was in Austria, Sandro was in Milan. So we left the family very, very early. And then I was thinking, I become chef later on. Well, before I changed my career, probably, yeah, if I could, probably I would cook for my dad. And then I would cook for my mom now, only because she's locked down in Italy. We can't go out, you know. Sometimes I send them pictures of pictures on you know, on WhatsApp, and she said, "Oh, when you come back to Italy, please can you cook this?" You know.
Okay, so what are you going to cook for her? Which dish?
I will cook something that I posted. Something that I posted the other day. I will cook a dessert which is called salame del re, which is like salame of the king. I don't know why it's called like that, but it's really nice. It's like a sponge cake with the alkermes, which is a liquor, and then a creme patisserie and chocolate, and then you roll it up and then you just slice it. Something that my mom has got a very sweet, tooth, and she likes dessert.
Right.
You know? So that's what I cook for her.
Great. So someone is asking you the question. Actually, do you like
my asparagus? Okay, and I put asparagus into my rice.
Okay. So let's continue, right? Is there a chef you admire the most? Who and why?
All right. I admire a guy. It's called Anthony Bourdain, and I see this is. He says that this tattoo: cook free or die. Right? And why? Because
And so your internet is too slowly. I really can't see. I couldn't see your tattoo.
So it's a knife, okay?
Yeah, I see.
And then he says, cook free or die.
Oh.
Like don't allow anybody to tell you what to cook. Just cook from your heart. This was something then Anthony Bourdain wrote in his book, Kitchen Confidential, in 2001. And I used to read the Italian version, and he sent me the copy in English, and he wrote that. Unfortunately, Anthony Bourdain killed himself a year ago at 62 years old. And then, I will tell you that this guy, apart of the book that he wrote, is an amazing book. Any chef should read that book, Kitchen Confidential. But this guy inspired me. He really inspired me to the person and the chef I am today, because it's really true. You know, you should just follow your heart, follow your feelings, follow your guts, and do whatever you love, especially on this kind of job, in every single career, in every single job. But this job is not actually just a job, but this is a lifestyle. If you think like when
your internet is too bad.
Yeah, everybody else enjoyed the one. I don't like seafood. Yeah. But when everybody else enjoy themselves and have a holiday, you know, chefs usually they work. You know, if you have a Saturday, Sunday off, we have a Monday and Tuesday. So it's really lifestyle. So you're gonna love this job. To to do it more than probably than any other job that you can even think.
Actually, one of my colleague, she's a dentist. She's writing the best panna cotta from Enzo. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And also someone is asking about the Michelin stars. But what exactly are you asking? What did you mean? No, I'm asking the man who is asking and writing.
I started in a Michelin star restaurant. Il Postale restaurant was in my town. He opened in 1997. He gained the star in 2000. So
but look, I still can't understand. The Michelin stars has the restaurants or the chef?
Yes. No, it's the restaurant. But of course, it's the restaurant that gets the star.
Okay.
It's the restaurant that gets the star.
So, and another question was about the woman. Do you like when make food woman? Like you mean who is cooking better, woman or man? Yeah. Did you hear the question?
I'm gonna add a little pepper and salt. Ask me again, please.
Okay, someone was asking about the woman. You know, do you like when make food woman? So he's asking which one is cooking better, woman or man?
All right. There are men. There are better chefs. There are some great women chefs. Nadia Santini, she's the 3 Michelin star for 20 years. She's in Mantova, in Italy. She owns a restaurant called Il Pescatore. She gained a 3 Michelin star 20 years ago. She have a 3 Michelin star. She's been nominated as best Italian female chef in the history. So there are great women, but I think I don't know. Don't tell me why, but food-wise, men are better. Men are better. I don't know why. I don't know what is.
I think so. And so
rice is done. Okay, it's still a little bit.
I can see. Can you
Okay.
move the camera, please? Okay.
Okay, this last process is very important, so I'm gonna tell you everything about it. All right. So if you see, okay, there's still liquid. Okay, but I switch off all the flame. Why? Because now I need an emulsion, and when you make an emulsion, okay, you don't want the temperature to go over 60 degrees. If it goes over 60 degrees, the emulsion split. All right. So I don't want to split the emulsion. I will add a fat, which is butter, and I will make this emulsion with the liquid that I have left and the starch. Give me a second. So I'm gonna get a little bit of butter.
This is a butter?
Yeah, this is an Italian butter. Now, actually, you can find it, but it's Italian. Zanetti.
Okay.
Zanetti is an Italian butter, very white, beautiful. So I'm gonna put like 2-3 slices this butter like this. Now I'm having around 50 grams of grated Parmesan. This is a proper Parmigiano Reggiano Italiano. Okay, 24 months aged. I'm gonna put my Parmesan. I have a salt, I have a pepper, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start and make an emulsion. Look, I can even jump like fast like this. So I'm gonna globe air. So what's happening now? The butter is melting with the heat of the rice. Done. Now I want to take Now, plate.
Is it necessary to shake it like this? Stupid question,
Right,
but
no.
okay.
You can use a spoon. You can use a spoon. Sorry.
Be careful.
You can use a spoon. I do like this. Okay? Because I have a little bit more practice than you. So, see? All right. Now, plate. Always flat. Flat plates because you want the rice to be on the same level. If you put the rice on the bowl, the rice underneath for the carry on cooking is still cooking. So you overcook the grain. Also, because the risotto supposed to look like the sea. We say all'onda, on the wave.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna get a spoon. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start from the middle.
And so where is mazzoni? Mazzoni will be to the end?
Yes, in the end. In the end.
Okay.
So,
right, and you are going to taste it, not me.
I know. That's the only problem. Okay, I'm going to do this so you can see properly.
Yeah, it's better.
All right. Now, I put it like in the middle. I'm going to start and do like this. So, it's flat now, completely flat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm going to do, I put asparagus like this as well. And I'm going to get a little bit of mazzoni.
Okay.
All right, then I mix the mazzoni. I make a little bit more liquid.
This is for decoration, or we need to eat it together?
No, I want cold. I like it then, you know, I have this cold and hot together. You know, I just want a little bit, you know, just around.
Yeah. I had this question actually. Someone is asking about which is your favorite food?
My favorite food, Italian, Asian. I love Asian. Not only Japanese. I travel a lot of Asia. So here we go. That's done.
That's all? It's ready. Nice.
So there you go. So you see, it's yellow.
Actually, it's very simple, you know, to make it. It's very simple.
It's very simple. The only difficulty is just make sure you don't overcook it. You don't have it too much. It's not too much watery. So the consistency of the emulsion is supposed to be mostly perfect. But
tell me, mostly people are eating it in the morning or in the lunch?
No. This is a lunchtime dish or an
lunchtime, evening. Yeah. Exactly. I knew it, but it was just question. Okay. Finally, we did it. Nice. And now you should taste it, not me. I became very hungry, you know.
I know when you watch people, cooking.
Yeah. Okay, tell me about your day. You know, okay, from the beginning, you woke up and you are going to cook something for you. What you are usually cooking for yourself?
Okay, what I cook. Let me see if you can hear me better like this. Wait, huh? All right, this you can hear me better.
Your camera is stopped. Yeah. Can you hear me? No, you're not.
So
Enzo, I can't hear you. I can hear you. Come on, you have all day, I think. Every day you have a lives on your Facebook. How? Now it's better. Tell me something. No. Put out your... You don't need it. Turn off it. Now I
Yes.
can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what I was saying is, in the morning, I'm only having cereals. Okay, cereals, a banana, mazzoni or yogurt. I'm drinking a vitamin C and I'm taking vitamin D. That's my breakfast. A coffee, just like an Americano, you know, with a little bit of a rosé. That's my breakfast. Then I have a light lunch. I'm always eating some fruits, you know, in the middle. And the lunch usually is a salad, or if I have a little bit of a grilled chicken, vegetables. Sometimes.
But if you are lazy and you don't want to cook for yourself at home like this, where are you going to eat?
Well, no, I never cook home, to be honest. I cook now because I'm stuck at home. Well, if I'm at work, I just order from the restaurant. If I'm at work, I order something. As I said, a salad, a pasta, a chicken, a fish, whatever. If I'm off, depends. You know, if lunchtime, I like brunch. So I tended to go more to continental cuisine. One of my favorite places is actually Lolita. I mean, I love to go there for brunch. I love the, you know, I love the, you know, poached eggs, you know, Benedict. Also because it reminds me of New York lifestyle. And then otherwise, you know, evenings, I like umami because I like Asian food. I travel a lot of Asia.
Oh.
I've been in like 6-7 countries there. So I like Asian food. Georgian food, the most I eat is in Cajeti because I like the ingredients there. You know, the ingredients come from the markets, you know, from the countryside. So it's like farm to table. So I really like them. I mean, I found the food than that you can find in Cajeti or in the villages to the food that you find here in Tbilisi.
Okay. What about the fast foods?
Fast food.
Do you like it or not?
I used
you're
to.
Not eating.
You know, when I lived in New York, sometimes. But if I want a burger, I go in a burger place. I used to love a place called Bear Burger. That it was a few places in Manhattan and also in Brooklyn. But I'm not really keen on fast food. Maybe more like a shawarma. I would have a shawarma. You know, like a wrap. You know, a chicken wrap or lamb wrap.
Wrap. You mean the Turkish one, right?
Yeah. Like shawarma, like a Lebanese one.
Okay. Come on, I hate them. Even the smell. No,
Really?
don't remind me the smell, please.
I don't mind. You know, when I lived in Dubai, I used to eat a lot of Lebanese food.
I know the Lebanese food. I like it. Actually, I like it. But
yeah,
okay, we are in Georgia, right? We are talking about the Georgia. We are talking about the Tbilisi. Okay, the one place you'd like is Lolita, right? What about the second and the third place you advise to go and to taste? Okay, the Cajeti.
All right, I tell you my favorite place.
We agreed.
My favorite place. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want Georgian modern, I like Meama in an old city. It's been developed by Kobiashvili. I like Keto and Kote. I like eating kote, also especially in the summer in the garden outside. I used to like for a little while, verico, and also don't mind the bandi as a Georgian food.
Come on, verico. I don't like verico. What do you like in verico? Come on.
Some of the dishes been done in a little bit differently. So I like when people add a little bit of twist into it. I like, let me see. Well, tecuna, I don't go often to tecuna, but I do appreciate caffè. I think, the few times I was there also tecuna, I know tecuna from 2015 because she also studied in New York. So Gia Piradashvili introduced me the first time when she just opened Caffè Littera in August 2015. And actually the way she does the food, it's pretty awesome. I tried a few times guram, chmeni as well. It's not, it's a good food as well. But often, I go more to continental food. So rooms was one of my favorite, even if there's a small menu. But they used to have a ribeye. Now don't have a ribeye anymore. But I used to go and get my ribeye, my burrata. A couple of this fusion Asian food. I like umami, so I go after umami.
You told me also the stamba, right? But they have very small menu there.
I don't like. I prefer rooms than stamba. Stamba I go for drinks, not really for food. Rooms
Because
I think
they have the open kitchen,
Yeah.
So the clients can see how they are cooking and like this, but they have very small menu. You can there is no choice,
Yeah, it's true. They follow a lot. New York is really like this. If you go to Williamsburg in Brooklyn resembled a lot what stamba, industrial feelings, stamba rooms that are really, don't forget that then people like Valeri and all these people, they study in New York, Ugulava as a child and ex-wife in New York, they travel a lot.
As I know, they are going to open also the restaurant in New York. Is it
They
true?
open a hotel. They will open a hotel. I think they open a rooms hotel now in New York.
Rooms hotel. And so we have only 1 minute because after 1 minute, the Instagram is automatically stopped our live.
Okay.
So the final question is, what are the biggest misconceptions out there about restaurants? Actually, I think the answer will be too huge, but maybe shortly. Or maybe some advices for Georgian clients where to go. Actually, we were talking about this a few minutes ago.
You want me to tell you to advise the places to go?
Yeah.
Food is
very complicated, right?
No, food is so subjective, I don't know. I mean, I think restaurants, I will tell you something different. I will tell you what restaurant should do, the restaurant business should do in Tbilisi. They should care a little bit more about the service, okay? Service is very important, and Tbilisi lack of service. And this is something that really, as hospitality, as the name says, an hospitality business should work into it, is to grow, the sense of hospitality in terms of service. The customer should be, the owners of the restaurants and who works in the restaurant care a little bit more about their own customer. That's very important, very, very important. What people should
and
go.
And so 15 seconds. No, we can go to the live for 1